And Tim asks if I'm planning to try Global Flight Ops when it goes live. You know, that's a great question. It's funny that Global Flight Ops is still not out there. It was one of the first, I think, of the modern iterations of sort of immersive online worlds to come out and yet, or to be announced, and it's still not out there. I think it was almost 2 years ago now that PMDG first previewed Global Flight Ops, and I was excited about it at the time, and I still am. I think at the end it's going to come down a lot to what does it offer and what does it cost. As with so much else, what's the cost-value equation? I think I think there's a lot of great things about Global Flight Ops, a lot of great potential. I haven't seen too many videos of people actually using it even in like the beta mode or anything like that, so I don't know. It was 2.5 years ago? Yeah, it was a long time ago that they originally announced it. And I think it's a great idea. I really think it's something that has a lot of promise. But again, for me personally, it's going to be about how much is it worth? Is it going to? Are we talking like? Is it going to be $10 or $12 a month? Is it $1 or $2 a month? I mean, I don't see them going that low necessarily, but you know, anything sub $5 a month would definitely be worth considering. If you're over $10 a month, maybe not so much. But also, what are the feature sets on offer too? I think it's going to come down to, I know some of the things that they want to do is basically they want to have like a worldwide fleet of persistent aircraft that other people get to operate as well. So kind of like FS Economy, but with more detail, where everything you do in the aircraft is recorded and stored and affects the next person that flies that airplane. So one of the other things that really it's becoming a problem, and it's a good problem to have, is the fact that there are so many of these kind of immersive, persistent universe systems now in the flight sim world. So between the old classic of FS Economy, there's Air Hauler 2 has been released and is now compatible with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Of course, you've got that on-air system. We've got the Sky Park, and now we've got Global Flight Operations. That's 5 different online immersive systems, and they all are, they're all sort of serve a different niche market. They all kind of have a different kind of general idea behind them. They're all similar in a lot of ways. The trouble is that especially when you invest in these systems, especially the subscription-based ones, you want to get your money's worth, so you want to fly them regularly. And I feel like you're going to be dividing your time between too many different products, trying to sort of keep your company afloat in all of them, trying to keep your FBOs and airplanes in FS Economy paid for while you're trying to fly in the Sky Park and while you're trying to maintain operations and Global Flight Operations. So I think it's also going to come down to what do you want to do as a simmer, and probably you're only going to buy into one, maybe at most 2 of these platforms. I don't think too many of us are going to be into all 5 of them at the same time, because they work best when you're in them on a regular basis, when you're flying on a regular basis within that world. If you're only flying each one once a month, you're not going to get a whole lot of benefit out of each one, I think. FS Economy, I think, is a lot of fun when you kind of do it repeatedly and consistently, and you can make a fair bit of money on it and spend money on different things like aircraft and such. I don't know how the other ones are going to work, but I feel like a lot of them really benefit from a lot of attention, repeated attention. So this is one of the other challenges now too, is that there's a lot of them out there all of a sudden. We went from FS Economy and kind of Air Hauler being like the only 2 that were really out there that were in any kind of use, to all of a sudden we got a whole bunch of them. You can kind of choose what you want, and there's a whole bunch of them out there. I wonder if all of them will last. I certainly hope they will. But there's only so much market to go around. Now, of course, Microsoft Flight Simulator, that market has grown immensely. How many of those people that are in Microsoft Flight Simulator will be consistently in the sim for the long term? Who knows? So the short answer is I don't know about Global Flight Ops. I want to see what they're going to do with it. I like the idea behind it. I could definitely see myself getting on board with it, but as long as it's not ridiculously expensive either. And I think that PMDG will make a lot more money off the being at the cheaper end of the scale. And I think a lot of people have discovered that. We pay a lot for their airplanes to begin with, so I think just running this as an addendum, as a way to promote the airplanes and encourage people to use them more, it will be hopefully enough. But I think that's something that the other developers have found, is that the less you charge, the more you sell. And in the past, I think flight sim add-ons, we've gotten used to the price points where they were at, but especially if they want to widen the market and really create a large market for add-ons, the price point had to drop. So I hope that PMDG has gotten that message a little bit as well. I don't think their airplanes will see it, but hopefully their global flight operations will see it.